Hello Capricorn, welcome to your reading here on Dove and Serpent Tarot. Please hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. Now this is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger. And I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I might provide. Okay? And remember, Capricorn, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And look at that beautiful sun card. This is a lot of synchronicity here because for weeks now at least, probably several months, we've been talking about Capricorn really embracing their solar nature, right? Really letting your true self shine. And this is really a good omen. And then we've got more major arcana. We've got this Eon card. Let's put out the rest of our Dove and Serpent spread. This is a lot of major arcana right here. Also, if there's anything you need me to pray over or meditate upon or send positive energy toward, please let me know. All right. All right, we're going to finish up here, see how many more major arcana we can get. Looks like it's just this one, but some good fire energy, good water energy. We have a pretty good balance of cards here, I think. Let's do our mystery card, though, real quick. We're going to use the Waite-Smith. And this is the card that we are going to set aside. We're not going to look at this until the very end of the reading. We're going to put it right over here. Frog and alien can hang out right on top of that card there. And hopefully at the end of the reading, that will tie everything together and give us the confirmation that we need. Okay? So, a lot of majors, man. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 majors. We got an air card. We've got 2 waters and 2 fires. It's pretty balanced. The only thing we don't have is any real solid earth cards, right? We've got this universe or world card, which is basically earth, right? The entire earth, the entire manifested reality. So that might be a lot of earth there. But we'll see how that ties into everything. We start out with this sun card. Beautiful, beautiful card, beautiful energy. I feel like right now in your life, you're a really cheerful person. Like you just feel like you've got this real excitement, this real happiness going on right now. And that makes me very happy. I feel like your light is really shining. I feel like everywhere you go, you're just glowing, you're beaming, you are in a good mood. Things are going really well. Your health, your finances, it's like everywhere you go, it's like you just bring the sunshine with you, you know? And that's really special. That's really cool. We need more people like you, Capricorn. I feel like this is giving you such self-confidence, right? I feel like you're standing taller. You've got a smile on your face. I feel like you feel good, you know? I think that you feel warm. You feel bright. You feel like you can really go out into the world and do anything. And I kind of feel like that's what you're doing, right? Because there's this eon, judgment, rebirth, reawakening, baptism by fire. This card really is saying that there's a fiery doorway right in front of you. And you're going to be walking through it. And you're going to be in outer space, cosmic perspective. This is the world is your playground. The universe is your playground right now. So where do you want to go? What do you want to do? How are you going to be manifesting some of this solar energy, your light, right? Your spirit, your soul now is on the outside, right? Your soul is enveloping you in this light and this warmth and this radiance, rather than you feeling like your soul is within, maybe within the universe, right? Your soul is kind of within the earth, within you, concealed, right? Cloaked. It's not a hermit card. We don't have the hermit here. Maybe the mystery card. We've had the hermit in the past for you. And I feel like that was you keeping your soul, your true self, your nature, your spirit, your light, keeping it inside, keeping your jacket pulled up over it, you know? Dimming your shine is what we used to say. But now I feel like you're wearing your spirit on the outside, right? And this feels really fantastic. I mean, this could just be a short reading. We can just say, hey, things are good. You're good. Whatever you put your mind to, whatever room you walk into, it's going to be all about you, right? So I think we need to kind of ask ourselves, okay, everything is, really good right now, right? Where do you want to go? Where do you want to take this wonderful energy? What is this doorway? What is this biggest challenge of your life that you want to take on? I almost feel like with this Sun card, it's just, we're just soaring through space and time. We're shining our light. We don't think there's anything in our way. We don't see any challenges. We don't see any obstacles. We don't see anything wrong that needs to be fixed. This Eon or Judgment card is asking you, what is this biggest, most difficult thing you can think of that you want to go do? This is not about the universe here. You are the universe. This is your general energy, by the way, down here. It's cosmic. It's cosmic. This is not about the universe providing challenges for you to overcome. This is you consciously deciding, I think. We have the Adjustment card back there. This is you deciding what challenge you want to go take on. Is there a cause that you want to dedicate yourself to? Right? What is this doorway? What do you want to step into? And this is a question that we don't really get to ask a lot of ourselves. Usually it's the universe is throwing something at us and we say, okay, how am I going to deal with this? Right? Now, you're throwing yourself at the universe. What do you want to tackle? Right? Is there some social cause that you're applying yourself to? Is there a new project, a new business? Anything, big or small, right? It could be the smallest little things in your life. You just want to clean the floors. I don't know. Or you want to tackle the biggest issues of our world, poverty and war and all this really terrible stuff. You have this sense now that you can go out into the universe and you're a major force. But at the same time, we're going to jump around a little bit. At the same time, you know that you are a star in space. And you're not the only one. There are trillions, probably, many, many trillions of stars out in the universe. And this gives you the little touch of humility that you need, right? In all of this grandeur, in all of this light and heat and radiance, you still can be a little bit humble. It's perfect alignment right now. And in the recent past, we have this Justice Adjustment card. I almost wonder if you recently got free of something. Maybe you finally left a bad situation. You finally settled some legal matters. Some financial things have been settled. You finally resigned from that position that you've been in, or you've gotten out of a relationship. It feels like there was some legal stuff that's settled now, and this is part of this whole solar energy that we have now, is this kind of freedom. Because these two cards together usually say that there's some kind of freedom that was kind of hard won. It was difficult, but you did it, and you're free of something. And that gives a tremendous boost of confidence, a tremendous a sense of freedom, right? Just to be away from whatever that situation was, to have that matter settled, right? Is probably a very, very good feeling for you. And I think this gives you the sense that, man, I can tackle anything. What do you want to throw yourself into? What do you want to really commit yourself to right now? I got a Two of Swords up here at the top. I think you're trying to decide, now that you have this new freedom, this light, this radiance, this health, this financial stability, this, this warmth. What are you going to do? I think you have a few things in mind. I think you're kind of debating what road to take. I think you're trying to trust your intuition. You're not trying to be too logical about it and say, well, I've got these kinds of resources and this kind of time, and I live in this area. Maybe I should do this kind of work. I think you're trying to be guided by a higher principle. More of an intuitive decision-making process. More of just maybe kind of asking the universe a little bit, right? Because we do have this world or universe card in your general energy. You're trying to just let it happen organically, perhaps, rather than feeling like you have to choose. You're just kind of waiting to see where life takes you. And you'll know it when you see it, in your travels, in your life, in your living. You'll see the opportunity when it arises. The one that's meant for you, the right one. You'll get that intuitive knowing, We have here down underneath everything this Hanged Man. Now, the Hanged Man has been a common card for you, I think, as has the Hermit. This, I think, is a couple of things. This is your ability to really put yourself in other people's shoes. You can put yourself in their position, right? Hanged Man position. That's a little on the nose. You have this really depth to you. This real compassion, real empathy, really, that you are able to put yourself in another's position, in their shoes, to understand what they need. And this is part of the influence. This is kind of the foundation of this choice that you're making, or this, I say it's not really a conscious choice, but this path that you're going to enter into, what you're going to commit yourself to, is it's going to be something that is going to try to alleviate some suffering here. I think as much as you, and this is the other side of the Hanged Man, as much as you have been made to suffer or allowed to suffer in your life, as much as you have, as we would say, dim your shine, put yourself last, sacrifice of yourself, now you're going to sacrifice yourself again for the benefit of these other people, to alleviate suffering, right? So this is a voluntary, generosity of spirit, You have been made or allowed to suffer in your life, but you don't want anyone else to have to go through that. Now, of course, you can't cure all the ills of the world, but you can apply yourself and work toward alleviating the suffering of others, right? And I think that's a really magical thing. I think that the Hanged Man is one of the most magical cards in the tarot. Because this, I think, is really what is going to unite us as a human race, Really bring us together as people, is to understand that, look, we have all been made or allowed to suffer. So why are we going to make or allow someone else to suffer too? That's just perpetuating this thing, We've got to use this experience that we've all had as a way to invoke our own compassion. And in order to do that, I think we need this solar energy. We need this real awareness of ourself, of our soul, of our spirit, in order to then use this compassion in the right way, to use our past suffering in the right way. I think if this Sun card were anything else, this Hanged Man might be just perpetuating this suffering, right? And I think that's, I don't want to talk too much about that, but I think suffering begets suffering a lot of the time. It's kind of, it perpetuates, It's generational. It's something that if we experience, then we tend to pass that on to others too. But in this solar energy, you're in a unique position, but it's not all that unique. You know what I mean? You're in a very special place right now where you can use your suffering to alleviate suffering instead of perpetuate it. Okay. Anyway, I don't know what you're going to do, what you're doing with your life, what work you're involved in, what your sense of destiny or purpose is. We don't see like a Wheel of Fortune or anything here. So all I know for sure is that you're approaching this 10 of Cups. This is your state of being complete. This is your state of pure joy and satisfaction. This is you accomplishing all of your goals. Not so much in the practical business kind of way, in an emotional way. A real intense emotional fulfillment, a deep spiritual fulfillment that may involve some business and finances. Yeah, of course, probably does. But the meaning of all of that is what is really important. And this is the 10 here, this perfection, this is unattainable, okay? As soon as we may get close to this 10 of Cups, we need to back it off a little bit so that we're always working towards this, right? That we're always striving toward doing better, expanding, shining our light even brighter, if that's possible. We don't want to ever attain the resting state of perfection because that takes us out of the experience, right? That's kind of the finish line, game over. You may have won, but now you don't get to play the game anymore. It's almost like, when you're kids and you're playing video games, you're just about to beat the game, and maybe you'll hit the reset button, right? Or maybe you'll lose some lives intentionally because you don't want to stop. It's too much fun. It feels too good to keep doing this work. You don't ever want to get to the finish line. And I think this is part of why this work that you do, this purpose that you're going to find, this commitment that you're going to make is on such a large scale. It maybe is just cleaning the floors, but I think it's something that's going to affect the world, right? The universe, the world. And you know that you're never going to completely eradicate world hunger, let's say, but you're going to keep doing that work. You're going to keep trying. And that satisfaction that you get, that personal satisfaction, seeing that you've alleviated just one person's suffering, even temporarily, even for just that moment, that feels good. So the 10 of Cups really central to this. And that brings us over to the path of the serpent. Of course, we've got this world or universe card. I think this is really about finding your place in the world. Now that you kind of have this, it's almost like you've had this spiritual experience. You know yourself now. You're a complete solar entity now. Now, what is your orbit? What part of this universe is yours, right? Where are you soaring through space and time? So maybe we're trying to kind of find our little corner of the universe to exist in now, Now that you have maybe this freedom to start discovering your place in the universe. Now we're going to do that. And here's the 5 of Cups in the environment. This is the suffering. This is the, we're experiencing the 5 and we're trying to bring it to a 10, right? There's always going to be this 5 and 10. It's always going to bounce between 5, 10, 5, 10. And this is you doing this work. And it is a work in your environment. I don't think it's just kind of something that you do at home. I think it involves the rest of the world in some way, right? It's meant to fulfill a need in the world, in society, in the human race. And I use the metaphor of suffering or the example of suffering or world hunger or something like that because to me it feels like it is on that grand scale, right? It is endemic. And this is the unattainable, this is the unsolvable equation. There will always be this Five of Cups in the environment. And for as long as you have this, nuclear fuel within you and this solar energy, this spiritual force and fire, you're going to continue doing your work, right? Even though you know it's never ending. The next card now is this Ace of Wands. It's in the position of what we don't want, though. That's a little strange to me. Because this is that spark of that good idea. This is the source of all of your nuclear fuel. This is your spiritual force and fire. This is that inspiration. This is that inspiration. And maybe the reason why we don't want this is because we feel like this is going to give us too much of an ego, perhaps. Right? This is going to be that confidence, that inspiration, that enthusiasm that maybe challenges our humility a little bit. Right? This is that kind of, that zeal, maybe that overzealousness that puts us in ego a little bit. Right? Makes it all about us, makes it all about the one, the I, right? The Ace. Maybe that's why we don't want this. Right? I'm not sure, but I do know that the next card is the 6. We're going from the Ace to the 6. So it's not about the one, it's about the many. It's not about me, it's about all of us. Right? Because the 6 is not just others, it's about you and others combined into one. We're one living, breathing universe. You don't want to be singled out for special acclaim or accolades. It's about all of us. It's like there's kind of no I in team, right? There's no ace in this 6. Now, if it was a 7, then we would see this ace going up against the many, right? Because what is the 7 of wands but the ace right up against those 6 wands right in the middle? I could find the 7 of wands here, but you've seen it before. So we don't have that. It's not us going against the world. It's us. It's being part of it. It's a unity. It's the multitude. That's what's important to you. You're not trying to single yourself out as the one sun in the center of the universe. I mean, you are, but there's this humbleness too. So we're trying to avoid making it all about us. We're going to make it all about all of us. Let's check that mystery card though. I'm curious if this is going to be some really solid earth energy, maybe a 6 of discs. I think any of the 6s would be good. Maybe it's going to be that 7 of wands that I was just talking about. That would be interesting. Maybe some more water energy. Maybe something like the Empress card. That would work out well. Well, let's see what we have. We have an 8 of discs. An 8 of discs. Now, with the 8 of discs, it really is about the hard work. It's this card is saying the key word for this card is failure, right? But it's not. Let's not think about it like that. This is the idea that the work you do is not going to have immediate results. You're not going to change the world in one instant. It's not going to just be put in some effort and then suddenly, you've got the paycheck at the end of the day. You've got the results right here in your hand. This is hard work over a long period of time just to make a dent in the universe. Right? But you're not doing it for the rewards. Right? You don't need to see the progress. You're doing this out of your compassion, out of your love. This is what you want to be doing. It's not about, one, it's not about the ego. It's not about the accolades. It's not about you, right? This is about just doing the best you can. You know, maybe one person at a time, one disc at a time, trying to alleviate a little bit of suffering in the world. Ultimately, are you going to change the world? Maybe, maybe not. That's not what you're concerned with. As far as we've been talking, this is going to it's going to go on forever. You're not suddenly curing all of the ills of the world, you know. And you know that. So this is a perpetual work. This is your toil day in and day out, trying to do this. That's what has meaning for you. You know, you're not expecting everything to be perfect at the end, and then you get handed the award and you've perfected the world, and that's the goal. No, the goal is doing the work. You know. And I think we know that it's a long, never-ending road, really. 5, 10 of Cups, and back again. So I think this is a really apt card. I think that this kind of summarizes a lot of what we're talking about. Because we make this all about you, right? It's your reading, Capricorn. But with rejecting this Ace of Wands, you're saying, yeah, I know this is a Capricorn reading, but it's not all about me. My life is not all about the attention being put on me and all the great things that I can do. No, it's about you doing the work for the many. Right? I think that is we need more people like you. We really do. And we're going to move on to the extended reading. If you want to join me, please click up here. That'll give you access to all of the extended readings, not just for Capricorn, but for all of the zodiac signs. So you can watch your sun, your moon, your rising sign. You can cross-watch. You can check out your Venus, your Mercury. Check out your Mars. I want to thank you for being here, and thank you for letting me read for you. I want to thank you for being the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot.